off phone calls. What was it like with 6 brothers and sisters?
Lovely.
You always had
I used
somebody
to
to
fight
play
with
with,
my
right?
sister.
You used to fight with your sister?
Yeah. And I used to fight with my brother. Because I was always in charge when I was babysitting. I was the oldest.
You're the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I got pretty tough at times.
What was the age difference
um,
from high to low?
there was quite a difference between the 2 youngest.
Yeah.
But 5 of us were fairly close. But when I was 7, Chris was, I guess, about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then my sister Inga was about a year and a half younger than that, and then Bill was about a year.
Yeah.
And then Howard was quite a few years younger, and then Doris, and then Bud was a complete surprise. I was 17 when he was born.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a big age difference between the oldest and the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was it like to raise 5 kids? That's a lot of kids.
Hectic. Hectic, but well worth it.
How did you keep it all running smoothly?
I didn't. No, the kids would get into all sorts of mischief if the phone rang, because we didn't have a mobile phone. You had to go where the phone was.
Oh, so you're out of the room then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice and Inga would open the fridge door and drop eggs on the floor.
That's
And
terrible.
downstairs, if I was in the laundry and I was called away, they'd go in and dump. We had ivory flakes all over the place, and you know how slippery they are, so they could slide.
Well, Ivory is the soap brand.
The soap for
It's
the
a soap.
for the
Yeah,
washing
yeah.
machine.
We used ivory flakes for their diapers and things, you know.
Yeah. The soap was flakes.
Yeah.
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 So do you think parenting now is different than parenting was when you were raising your kids?
Pardon?
Do you think parenting now is different than when you were
Yes,
raising
very
your
different.
kids?
Yeah.
How?
I think
They listened when you raised them.
I think the kids are busier. We were all mothers at home, unless you couldn't afford to stay at home.
Yeah.
All the mothers were at home, so that we all kind of looked out after each other's kids too. If more people helped me out sometimes when the kids would fall and I'd be busy, you know, they'd go fix them up with a bandage, and it was a wonderful, a much nicer way of living then. And then I had a cleaning lady once a week, which helped.
Mm-hmm.
And she was marvelous with the kids, because she knew I was just about the end of my rope. She said, "Go on out with you," in her Scottish accent. "Go on out for a few hours, get away from here." And she had the kids helping clean and stuff, you know. She was
That's nice.
marvelous. Yeah.
That's
So
really
that
nice.
saved my sanity, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was difficult for a few years. It was always 2 in diapers, and, you know.
2 in
A lot
diapers.
of washing, yeah. No washing machine until Daphne was born, and I guess your grandfather thought I'd flip, so he went out and bought a automatic washer and dryer and had it put in the kitchen, so I wouldn't have to go downstairs. And a TV for the kids. First thing he ever bought on time.
Like when
Oh.
it first came out, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the first thing he ever bought. You know.
At the right time.
Yeah.
Instead of
He
buying
always
it much
paid
later.
cash. Yeah, he always paid cash.
Yeah.
Different day and
I
age.
guess there were no credit cards really, right? You had to be cash for everything, right?
Yeah.
There was no
Check,
credit
by
cards.
check.
Well, no, you could take a loan from that store basically and pay them off slowly.
Yeah, I think eventually we did get some sort of a credit or something. I think I've forgotten what it was. It was Simpsons in those days. It's Bay now.
Yeah.
But no, it's I don't know. It's totally different day and age today to bringing up children. We were all together at mealtime always,
Hmm.
and their friends were always welcome. you know.
Grandpa too would be there for dinner every day.
If he was there, yeah. If he wasn't traveling somewhere, because he was running oil tankers, and he sometimes had to go to Montreal or Sarnia or somewhere, Fort Weller, and so that was. It was more of a family life than you have today,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and the kids were not as busy. I mean, other than maybe cubs and as you say, brownies. Really, they weren't involved structurally the way the kids are today with all the different things. Probably because most of the parents are working.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we had a great deal less than the people do today, the families do. I mean, you didn't have all our furniture was bought at auction sale. Most of it was bought at auction sales when we were married. We bought things as we could afford them.
Yeah.
And everybody did the same thing. So it is different, very different. I think it's much harder today. Much harder
Yeah,
for
it's
parents today.
Hard to keep up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. You either keep up, you either both work, or one of you works and you live at a much lower level. And you want the most for your kids, I know. I mean, we all do. It's just a different expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, things are much more disposable now.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Where you buy
Yes.
something, back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s and 50s, and you keep it
Keep it
for
forever.
You kept it
Forever.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your stoves and your fridges have lasted forever.
yeah. Like your fridge
Yeah.
lasts 30 years, 40
Yeah.
years. Now, there's no way.
10 years tops.
Yeah.
No, it's very different today. Because I feel badly for the parents. But there again, if you want to change your lifestyle, you can't do as much for your children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What's been the best thing about your life?
but what?
Your life. What's the best thing?
Oh, my 5 kids. Definitely. It's wonderful. Wonderful having. And as you get older, you appreciate it even more because they've turned out pretty well.
Yeah.
All of them. It's so nice to have that feeling.
Knowing they're
Now,
okay.
we had it with our family growing up. And as we grew up, we might not live anywhere near each other, but we always kept in phone, and we always knew we were there for each other. And I've tried to instill that in my kids, that you should be there for each other. It means
Yeah.
so much. It gives you that power that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're never alone,
Yeah.
Yep.
no matter what.
Hmm.
So,
And what's been the most challenging? Probably your kids.
having the kids.
Same
And a
answer.
husband. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that your kids are definitely a challenge. Yeah.
Have some water.
I'm going to. My throat gets so dry. My mouth gets dry.
Okay, so last question.
Excuse me.
It's okay.
Swallowed the wrong way. I'm not blowing germs, I don't think.
No, I'm sure it's fine. I'll turn it off.
What's the last question?
Last question. What have you learned from your life that you'd like to pass on to future generations?
Well, I think again, family is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And always keep in touch with each other because it really means a great deal, particularly later on as you get older. But again, it's family life and getting your priorities straight too.
What's the first priority?
Family.
What's the second?
I think maybe, probably morals and being yourself, not to be too sort of part of the sheep.
To be good, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, not to just try and be
Yeah.
like everyone else. Just be yourself and who you believe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do you want to look at the photo album with that? Or
Yeah.
I'll do
Well,
it?
What's
you
another
do
one
it. You do
too?
it.